Okay, this is a little bit strange, but I'm going to do it. Let's see if this actually works out. You're in your last semester of undergraduate studies. Then you are going into the real world after this. I'm not that much older than you, maybe double your age. I like thinking about life, and then I try to come up with little rules and things that help me. Normally it's a little bit more serious than this, but I thought I will just share some of my quick tips for surviving life, okay, after your fourth year. You're going to earn some money. It's going to be nice, except if you do postgraduate studies, which you guys should all do, but you'll still get a little bit of money when you do postgrad. So what are some things that I found helped just in like navigating life a little bit? So rule number one for me is don't save money when buying sleeping equipment, okay? And I will try and make this very philosophical, but I will also make it quite concrete. Okay, so here's the little story. I went to, after my master's, I went to the UK and I studied there. I landed there in Scotland, and I had more money from the scholarship than I had before. Okay, so I had a lot of money. Arrived in the flat, there's no bedding in the flat. So what do? I know I've got a lot of money, but I'm still frugal is the nice word. Stingy is the accurate word, right? So then I'm like, okay, where am I going to buy bedding? And I walked to the store, Poundland. This is an actual picture of the store, not when I was there. This is like last year. You can see the store isn't doing well. Poundland is this weird store in the UK. Things are supposed to cost £1, okay? So I went in there and I bought this bedding. It was like this silky stuff. It looked pretty nice at the time. Put it on the bed, and that night, and for the next 3 months, I basically slid around while sleeping. So it's just like this whole, you go in and then you kind of like this. It was horrible. But I'm a stingy guy, so that's like, I'm not spending money on this. And then after 3 months, my sleep really, this is somewhat serious, I really developed like sleeping problems. It wasn't the bedding, it was Scotland doesn't have sunlight. So no, that actually caused me to my internal clock just went haywire. So after that, I went to the fancy store up the street, and I paid, I think it was £40 for bedding, okay, which at the time was a lot to me. The point that I'm trying to make is this, there's maybe 2 points. Let me try and be philosophical, which is there's some things in life that even if you're a frugal person or like a really hardworking person that wants to live economically, there's some things that you shouldn't compromise on. One of these things is rest, okay? So sleep, I know you guys get by with very little sleep, okay? But sleep is just something as you grow older that becomes really, really important, and good rest. And so here's a little, I got this from the internet, so maybe some of it is wrong, but like the sleeping patterns for different somewhat cool people. And you see they all sleep between 8 hours and 6.5 hours, okay? 6.5 on the lower end. The other thing is a lot of them get up pretty early, right? So Benjamin Franklin getting up at 5. Tim Cook, he was a CEO of Apple. I don't know if he's still the CEO of Apple, gets up at 4:30. Sleep is really important. You're going to spend a lot, so please sleep. That's maybe the philosophical point that I'm going to make, like going into life. You're going to spend a lot of time in your bed. So make sure it's nice, okay? So I'm not talking about go crazy, right? But don't spend just £2 on silky bedding. Like actually, get proper bedding. It's very important. And I think the other thing to just say is that most of us think that, like I was surprised by Barack Obama, right? He ran this country, or tried to run this country, biggest country on earth. And I'm just like, he has 24 hours in a day to do stuff. He can't afford 6 hours of sleep, but he managed it. And I think one thing that you will realize, I know you guys feel very productive now, but when you go into the work life or you do postgrad, you cannot actually work for 8 hours continuously. Like it's very different from undergrad classes where you have these little gaps in between. When you sit in front of a desk for 8 hours straight, I track my productivity, and you actually just get between 3 and 4 hours of actual work done in a 8 or 9 hour stretch. What's all the other hours for? One big thing is to actually recharge and make sure that tomorrow you can put in 3.5 hours or 4 hours of productive work, and a large part of it is sleep. But let me cut all the philosophy and like that there's some things in life that you shouldn't compromise on. My tip is really just when you go and buy a bedding, when like the first time that your parents aren't paying for your bedding, just buy nice bedding. Like with duck feathers inside and the duvets that make you just feel happiness. Buy those duvets. Okay, cool. I'll see you guys this afternoon.